At the end of the 2.6 livestream, we were gifted with a teaser for 2.7 or potentially 2.8, but it's most likely going to be 2.7. 2.7 is revealing that Galabbrina, another 5-star resonator, is going to be arriving in Rinascita and Septimont. But she's not exactly going to be here to come over for a cup of tea and shake our hand. No. She's here for a much darker reason. She is here to hunt the Thronodian. Now, the problem with this is hunting the Thronodian isn't exactly a bad thing. The bad thing is she's after Cartethiya. And the reason why she's Cartethiya, because if you guys remember in 2.4, Cartethiya, when venturing to Septimont, was tricked and deceived by the Fractidus and actually was teleported into a sonorosphere imitating Septimont. It was an alternate dark reality, dark version of Septimont, where she met an alternate version of Lupa and essentially was led down a trail of breadcrumbs trying to figure out what the hell was going on. But what she didn't realize was this alternate version of Septimont was tainted with the Thronodian's power. And the problem with this is we purified the Thronodian's power from Fleur-de-Lis/Cartethiya's body, but while she was within this sonorosphere, she was being corrupted and basically being exposed to the dark tide and also being exposed to other remnants of the Thronodian's power, which means that when she came out of the sonorosphere, she again is vulnerable to the Thronodian's hold, to the Thronodian's grasp. We know this because at the end of 2.4, she actually says she can feel the Thronodian's grip tightening once again.
There is something else. Perhaps due to the dark tide in the Sonoro, I can feel my balance shifting. The Thronodian's pull is growing stronger.
And also at the start of 2.5, she had to go to the Black Shores to run a bunch of tests, and then the Black Shores replied saying she needs to remain in the inverted tower to recover her energy and to basically expel the Thronodian's dark power. Now, if the Thronodian's dark power, due to this alternate reality of Septimont, due to this sonorosphere that Christopher created, is corrupting Cartethiya, then this could leave her vulnerable not only to the Thronodian's return, similar to what happened in 2.2, but also it could leave her vulnerable to other people hunting the Thronodian. Remember, we as the rover can actually sense the energy and sense the presence of the energy signature of the Thronodian, and clearly Galabbrina can do the same as well. So maybe there may be a misunderstanding where Galabbrina is hunting Cartethiya, mistaking her for the Thronodian itself, when actually all she's doing is tracking down remnants and tracking down energy signatures of the Thronodian, and she came into contact with Cartethiya, and in her mind the only way to finally kill and defeat the Thronodian for good is to destroy the vessel which the Thronodian created, being Cartethiya, because those that don't know, Cartethiya is the Thronodian Leviathan's daughter. We also know that the gladiator Mia is also the Thronodian Leviathan's daughter. They are siblings. Mia and Cartethiya are siblings because the Thronodian created them both to create the ultimate weapon. Though both of those plans fell through because Cartethiya was freed and also Mia fought back and actually took her own life to stop the Thronodian from returning and to stop the Thronodian from invading and taking over Septimont with the dark tide. But the problem is, because Cartethiya was trapped within the sonorosphere created by Cristoforo, created by the Fractidus for so long, it left her vulnerable to Leviathan's influence. And because of this, when we broke the sonorosphere, the remnants of the Thronodian was basically reattached to Cartethiya's body, which is the reason why Cartethiya felt the influence of Leviathan once again, which is also the reason why the Black Shores basically said to us and said to Cartethiya, you need to go back to the inverted tower because that is going to be the best place you can naturally recover to expel the Thronodian's energy signature and to expel the influence of the Thronodian once again naturally, because in the inverted tower is where you're going to be able to come into contact with the remnants of Imperator, and since Imperator is the Sentinel and since the Imperator is the light side and Thronodian is the dark side, it's going to be easier for her to recover her symptoms in the inverted tower since she is closest to Imperator there.
After merging the power of the Sentinel and the Thronodian, she subconsciously absorbs nearby energy whenever she uses her forte. Last time she fought in a sonorosphere tainted by the dark tide. This may explain why she felt the Thronodian's pull growing stronger. Based on the data you sent back, the inverted tower may be the ideal place for her recovery. Yes, that sonorosphere's formation is connected to Imperator. which should help stabilize Cartethiya's energy.
But with the introduction of Galabbrina and her shadow demon, whatever the hell this companion of hers is, she is actually tracking and hunting down remnants of the Thronodian, which is the reason why when her shadow demon was like, "And what target will we be hunting next?" and she replied with the Thronodian, and then we see her busting through the inverted tower, attacking Cartethiya, and Cartethiya seems to be standing there, whether she's caught off guard or whether she predicted this was going to be happening. This is the reason why Galabbrina is going after Cartethiya, because clearly Galabbrina isn't a bad person, but she's dead set on destroying the Thronodian once and for all, and the only way she's going to be able to do that in her own mind is to destroy all remnants and all energy signatures and all traces of the Thronodian. And unfortunately, since Cartethiya was exposed to the dark tide and to the Thronodian's power within the Sonorosphere, there might be a little bit of a miscommunication, a little bit of a misinput. There might be a little bit of a misinput, a 2319 moment indeed. Now, there are multiple different outcomes when it comes to this part of the story. There are multiple different things that could happen within this story arc coming up. Number one, we could go to the inverted tower as Rover. We could figure out what the hell's going on and go to the inverted tower and go to Cartethiya's side to protect her from Galabbrina. We confront Galabbrina, try to explain the situation and what's going on, and that Cartethiya is no longer under the influence of the Thronodian. Or what happens is Galabbrina goes after Cartethiya, and Cartethiya this isn't a will, but it could be the door opening for Cartethiya to exit, if you know what I mean. Now, I said the exact same thing to Frolova. I said the exact same thing in my Frolova video, saying this could be Frolova's death. And people told me in the comments, they would never kill off a playable character, they would never do this, they would never cause a character to exit because she's become playable. Well, I got news for you. For all intensive purposes, Frolova is out of the story now. She's technically dead. She's trapped within this afterlife Sonorosphere-esque. She's a ghost. You can even go and visit her. She literally looks like a ghost now. She's near enough dead. And anyone telling me that she isn't, they may bring her back in the future. I'm not saying never say never, but I'm saying for all intensive purposes right now, Frolova is gone for now, possibly forever, but we don't know. So this could be something that could happen in 2.7 or 2.8 whenever this story comes to pass, where Galabbrina goes after Cartethiya. Cartethiya could be saved by Rover. We could save Cartethiya, or they could fight and they could work it out between themselves, which I think would be pretty cool. Or Galabbrina could kill Cartethiya, or Cartethiya could be caught in the crossfire between our battle against Galabbrina, and then Cartethiya could actually perish and could die, or something else. She could be critically injured, she could be unable to use her powers, she might be comatose, she could be very badly injured, which puts her out of the story for the foreseeable future. She might have to go to the Black Shores and go into these stasis pods, similar to what Camellia has to go in, these healing stasis pods. We don't know. So many things could happen here. However, do not be surprised. Now, this isn't a guarantee. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I believe this could happen. So do not be surprised if Wuthering Waves decides to exit Cartethiya's character through Galabbrina. Now, Galabbrina, through what we've seen, looks insanely powerful. She looks confident. You can tell she looks confident, not only the way she's just happily going, oh, I'm going to hunt the Thronodian, but also the Shadow Demon. Who is the Shadow Demon? What is this thing by her side influencing her, or maybe is genuinely her companion? That could be her version of Abby. We have Abby as our companion. That could be her version of Abby. Whoever the Shadow Demon is, that could be someone that's been with her through her journeys for quite some time. Or maybe Galabbrina's under the influence of the Thronodian. Whether or not it's the Leviathan, or whether it's the Overthrax, or whether it's something completely different, we genuinely do not know. But I'm very intrigued to find out, and I wonder if we're going to see Cartethiya's exit, or are we going to be able to save Cartethiya and resolve this misunderstanding? Because remember, the Thronodian's energy is scattered out throughout Septimont, scattered out throughout Renacita. The Thronodian's energy signature is always going to clearly be around, because you can't technically kill a Thronodian. You can send them back to wherever the hell they came from, and you can destroy remnants, but the closest thing I can basically compare it to, if you look at Harry Potter, Voldemort split his soul into 7 pieces called the Horcrux spell, the Horcrux curse, whatever it's called, where he split his soul into 7 pieces. And basically, Leviathan has near enough done the exact same thing. We take out the Leviathan's energy signature on Fleur-de-Lis. Don't forget, she's still alive. We may have freed Cartethiya, but Thronodian is still alive. Then we take down Mia, the resurrection of Mia, the energy signature of the Thronodian residing in Mia. We kill the remnants of Mia. The Thronodian is somehow still alive within this jewel. We are then probably going to destroy the jewel, and then Thronodian's still going to somehow have a plan C, D, E, F, and G, because there are multiple different things, different vessels, different objects, similar to Horcruxes, like in Harry Potter, where the Thronodian Leviathans imbued her energy into these objects, into these vessels, to stop her from dying permanently. This is me basically just discussing with you guys how I believe the Galabbrina story arc could go, because it was a very interesting and very intriguing and exciting reveal to us at the end of the 2.6 livestream, seeing Galabbrina and her Shadow Demon agree to hunt the Thronodian, and then her basically blitz through the Inverted Tower. Do not forget, Inverted Tower, there was a scene where Inverted Tower, if it's Inverted Tower, looks corrupted. It looks incredibly corrupted. Why does it look corrupted? Maybe it has something to do with Cartethiya. Maybe it has something to do with Leviathan returning. Maybe it has something to do with Galabbrina's presence. We genuinely do not know. Why is the Inverted Tower looking like that? Why is Galabbrina after Cartethiya? How is Cartethiya going to recover from this corrupted state of the Thronodian, knowing that she's going to be hunted by other people like Galabbrina? And how are we going to potentially save her or not be able to save her when this story unfolds? Let me know down below in the comments what you think. Thank you all so much for watching this theory video. I'll see you all in the next one. Take it easy. Have a good rest of your day.